And this will be the reassembly video of the Walther P22 airsoft gun. And this is going to be a doozy right here. I've taken this thing apart and reassembled it about 4 or 5 good times now. Or was it 6? I can't remember now. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's start with this housing piece right here. Now, point of contention here, a little note here. The trigger here, see if we can get the camera to focus here. There we go. See a little nub right there on the right side of this thing? That's where the spring would attach right here. Here's the broken spring. One of the legs, the other leg is supposed to stick up at an angle right there. But that is supposed to catch, let's see, this sort of back piece right here. It'll push against that one, and that's how you get your sort of a spring action right there for the trigger. We're going to leave that spring off though since it's broken. And I still haven't found a replacement for this yet, so maybe I'll find one eventually. Anywho, starting off, we have this piece right here, which is where the spring kind of attaches onto from the piston and everything. And we have this hammer, which again is cosmetic. So don't worry too much about it. You could probably leave that off if you really wanted to, but I like to put mine on. Looks better with the hammer on it, so anyway. On this left side of it here, there's a little groove right in there, and that's where our spring will come in. And it only goes in one certain way, and that'd be this way. Yeah, that's a little floor right there, I guess, or something. Anyway, that just slots in here like so. There you go. And this other side right here will hook on to this piece right here. And what we're going to do, whoops. Let me zoom in here for just a moment, if I can, and focus. If I can. Now, if you look in here, you'll have a little hole right there, a little peg hole for the hammer to fit into, and a little rectangular place right here, which is where the other piece will slot into. I found it's a lot easier to just pull these apart slightly while pushing down to get them to fit in there. Whoops. There goes the spring. Oh boy. I should probably do this off camera, but I'm going to try to do this on camera first. Yay. Yay for real-time recording. Let's see if I can do this. And if you line it up exactly right. Oh, okay. Got it right first time. Nice. So, that's how you take care of that. Focus again. Now our next piece is going to be this piece right here, which is part of the trigger mechanism. This is what releases the piston there when you have it in its set position. What we're going to do, we have this spring right here, and it actually goes in this way, in this orientation. There's the L shape right there. We're going to take and put it in like so. It'll cooperate with me. And I'll show you what I'm doing here in a minute. There we go. And that should be parallel with the top piece right here. And what we're going to do, pay attention to this piece right up here. See how there's a flat side right here and a sort of bent side right here? That side goes towards the back. We're going to take and let me get this back in focus here in the shot. You're going to take the bottom leg here, the bottom little peg, and try to grab that. Put the top one in that hole right there. And you're going to try to grab the bottom, the little spring right there, with the bottom peg right there. And just slot it in there. And don't fiddle with it too much, because it'll stay in there just fine on its own. Just don't fiddle with it too much. That'll be in front of that. Let's see if I can show you here. don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see it right there. There's the foot of that spring there. That's how you do that. To trigger, I just showed you where the trigger spring is supposed to go. So we're just going to throw that in here. See, this is the left. This will be the left side. This will be the right side. It's going to go into this little hole right here. There we go. And we're going to take this little rod right here. And we're going to slide it over here in the front. There's 2 slots for it right there. See there? I'm going to take the other side. And just line everything up and push it together. I'll show you what it looks like here in just a moment. Pay attention to the bottom peg here on the trigger, because the top peg is going to go in this little space right here. And while we're at it, let me show you this right here. See that right there? That little small piece separate from everything else? That's supposed to have a little hook on the end of it for the safety button, the little safety switch to hook onto so it holds, so it stays in place there. That's one of the first things that'll break on you right there. It'll just break or wear out or whatever. So that's what's causing that. But what do you expect from a $15 gun? So anyway, line everything up and just push down, and there you go. Let's got that together. Now here's the fun part. We get to put the spring back in. Now here's our piston right here, our little piston assembly with the housing of it and the rubber seal and everything. Just make sure that's in proper position right there if we go messing with this. Now right here on the front of this thing, or the bottom of it here, see these little fins right here that kind of jut out a little bit. That forms a sort of rail system that kind of slides in here, right along in through there is where it's going to slide in at. That's what keeps it straight as it, when you push everything back together and everything. We're going to put spring on here. We're going to put, or actually no, we're going to put spring in this thing first. Then we're going to line it up. Now from right back here, you sort of angle it downward. If you do it right, it should go right in there. Not too much fuss. Now you notice I didn't put that little ring up there yet. You don't want to put that on yet because that'll give you a little more flexibility here. But if you do that right, this thing will go right in there. It might take a little finagling, but there you go. That took a lot of practice to do right too, by the way. Zoom out a little bit here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take our barrel. Where'd that barrel run off to? Here it is. We're going to take our barrel. We're going to use this piece right here to kind of push against this right here. And it's going to fall into place. See, there's a little, this thing right here will just, once you get into the right spot, that'll basically just fall right into place for you right there. So just pay attention here. I'm just going to angle it down here. And obviously be a little bit careful because this is all plastic. Let's see. I kind of use your finger there to push against it too, because you need this thing to drop in. There we go. There. And we're going to take our ring, slide it right in here. Boom. And we're going to take a little pin here and push that in right here. The second hole here. Make sure you push it all the way in there. Let my little thing here go. You need it to be flush with the side of that, or it'll go back together completely. Those pins can be a pain in the butt, really. Let's see, is that lined up perfectly? I hope it is. I think it is. I think and I hope it is. Pop that out real quick. Or no? There we go. go. Once you got that in there like that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our spring here, put that around that little pull right there, little rod right there, and we're just going to take the slide with the holes lined up and everything. I'm just going to stick it on there. Till the barrel lines up with it and goes through. And then you just push it back far enough to where the back piece right here fits over that piston, this back plate right here, and just push down. Let's see, where is that? Oh, there it is. Let's see. Right there, you see a little slot right there. And that's what you're aiming for right there with that.
2 hours later.
There we go. Mistakes were made, but we got there in the end. Just make sure you line up this, make sure you line that part up right there, that rod up right there properly, before you try hooking this, clipping this back on. And again, you're lining up with that. You're lining up this piece right here with that. Anyway. Ba-boom. Once you got everything lined up, you got the little notch right there lined up with that slot. And you got this rod right here in that hole, as well as the barrel. Just push down, it'll click into place. And then you can just put that into the bottom half of the gun. Take your back handle piece right here, your handle back piece or whatever, slide that in, and then you slide your pins back in. Oh, actually I forgot to put the safety back on there, so hold on a second. Safety goes in that little hole right there. And this little connecting rod, connecting whatever the fuck it is. The rounded end goes over the trigger, and the elongated end goes back here. Just hook them onto the appropriate pins. There we go. Now we slide this back in here. And there you go. And from there on out, you just want to put your pins back in. And you're golden. One right here, and the plastic one again goes into the handle here. And there you have it. How to take it apart, how to put it back together.